Hello, my name is Camelia Murray, and today we'll be talking about digital literacy gaps in parents. Imagine being a parent who wants to check on your child's grades online, and every click feels like a puzzle to you. You can't solve. With thousands of parents, especially unfamiliar with technology, a lot of daily realities they want to help their children with, they succeed, it's always a digital boundary with them. So basically, like sometimes you have a lot of issues where some parents are just not computer illiterate. So it makes it really hard for them to understand a lot of things when it comes to digital literacy. As schools move forward in the learning platforms, basically, like a lot of schools nowadays, they go off of just like apps and they take a lot of iPads home. And some parents can't check their grade books or anything because they don't know how to use technology. So if they want parents to kind of like stay involved in these areas, throughout the technology grades period like we're in, some parents haven't reached a level, so we got to figure out what we need to do so these parents can reach the literacy level they need to when it comes to these digital things. So it doesn't cause like lots of conflicts and stuff with families, and they can look at their students' achievement throughout the year. Sorry, I took notes. Throughout interviews with parents that I've had with educators, research shows using digital thinking framework to discover, their problem. How example like using like different solutions for these parents to understand why they have such a hard literacy, you know, gap on why they don't understand, a lot of things when it comes to, the technology nowadays. For parents facing, growing through the digital literacy gap, it prevents them to have their full support in their children's education. So by that, it makes it accessible for training or, user friendly tools so the school can strengthen families' involvement with student success. In today's world, we explore why this issue is the way it is, how schools can address it, and what can a child's future look like when it comes to their parents knowing these digital literacies and what could help them or what could just be helpful overall for these families. I feel like the problem is, many parents they struggle with using outline platforms and checking grades and submitting assignments or even communicating with teachers because everything is on the internet now. Everything is technology based. And then I also feel like, this digital literacy gap includes families with limits in their abilities to stay involved in the children's education. So also, I feel like why does it matter? Because when parents can't access these digital tools, children's missed out on updates, deadlines, and the virtual learning opportunities. Teachers also feel like it's a strain when they spend extra time trying to help parents navigate the platforms so they can, they feel like they're wasting their time because they still don't understand what they're looking for when it comes to their children. And that's why I feel like they have a strong literacy gap. And I hope, like, further along in the future, we can get help from this. And then, the solution that we can go through is, our parents, they can go to digital literacy shops. Some parents, they can be in person or online to get teach based skills to support this without being in a judgment free setting. And then educational platforms, they shift step by step guides, making it helpful for these families to understand why this is happening, why is this going on, and each parent can follow along to make it very easy for them. And then I feel like the benefit of it, parents will feel, empowered and confident to engage in their child's education online. And schools will experience stronger family involvement and smoother communication and improving the trust with the parents. Um, when it comes to visualizing the solution, imagine parents being able to log on and be at ease when they're checking their children's grades and messages and celebrating their children's success. And then, instead of them being fearful and frustrated, they can, feel a connection with the families and teachers and overall get an idea of why, taking these classes and workshop made it better for them in their digital gap literacy. Today, we examine the digital literacy gaps parents face when they, trying to find a solution for them. And then we, took a call of action. Let's advocate for these parents for the digital literacy so every school district encourage administrators, teachers, and community partners, to train these families on these type of things so they can be successful, so they can be a part of their child's future. And my closing thought I would like to say is together we can ensure every parent, regardless of background or experience, have tools and support of their child's success because when parents come to approve students, they thrive, their entire education system, and it begins to grow. And I hope you enjoyed my slide, my video, and I really appreciate everybody and have a great year. And this was a great semester for me. Thank you.